Oh my gosh, it's a creeper! Ah! It's hissing! It's gonna get us! Whoa! His head is not attached. Ah. Okay, stay there.
Come back here, please.
Okay, scoot back. I want to get this in the... I can't... Okay, stand there. We have to attach your head here.
You're not allowed to go away from me. You're not allowed to go
Okay, Ryan, look over here. What's up, Rye Dog 2? Hey everybody, it's Monkey Farm, and today I'm going to show you how to construct your very own creeper Halloween costume. And shout out to my niece and nephew in the intro video who will obviously be wearing this on Halloween. Now keep in mind that the costume, all the dimensions and everything that I'm going to show you are for a 6-year-old boy. So if you're building this for a 30-year-old man, for example, you're going to need to adjust your sizes accordingly. It is fairly snug, form-fitting on the inside with the boxes, so you'll want to make sure that the box sizes fit the person you're trying to make this for ahead of time before you get too far into it. So what I'm going to show you first is the materials you'll need. The boxes that you see here, these sizes, the reason I chose these sizes is this is what I could find at Office Depot. Places like the UPS store did not have a very wide variety of sizes, so I don't recommend going there if you're going to try to use some, different size boxes. These I found at Office Depot, and they seem to fit pretty well for this particular size that I'm trying to make. So I used a 12 by 12 by 12 inch box for the head. The middle body part I used a 12 by 15 by 21 by 5. That was a standard size box that they have there. And then what I actually did is ended up cutting that middle box nearly in half, or actually I think I did it just about in half exactly. And it was very easy to do because the way the box is already built and it's folded up, you just basically cut it in half and reattach the two flaps together, and they're the same size. So I guess it's 12 by 7.5 by 21 by 5. So keep that in mind. You'll need to adjust that size because you want to have the middle body box smaller than the head, or less deep than the head. And then for the feet, I couldn't find a box. I'm sure there are boxes that will fit this better, but the two that I found, I basically used two 12 by 9 by 5s and attached them together. This was a little bit more difficult because in the middle I had to kind of cut it. I had to cut it out for the legs and the feet to be able to fit through, and then but still make the box attached and strong enough to handle walking around. You do want to make this as sturdy as possible because if you don't, the cardboard will start bending, or if you bump into things. This one happens to be very strong because I reinforced it with cardboard pieces. I folded in the flaps and I didn't cut them off, so everything's kind of double layered. I recommend doing that as well. That will definitely make this thing last longer during your Halloween excursions. So the next thing you want, the other materials, you'll need the creeper template for your green boxes, and I'm going to put links in the description to the images that I used. So if you happen to build the exact replica of this using these size boxes, these printout templates will work very well for you. I sized them exactly to fit basically a 12-inch box. Um, so each square I think is about an inch and a quarter or an inch and a half, somewhere in there. It's a little bit smaller than an inch and a half. And with the middle part, the little grid in between each square, it fits perfectly on a 12-inch box. So definitely want to keep that in mind because you don't want to have a square wrapping around the corner or not sized correctly, or at least, depends how picky you want to be, but I did try to do it as close as possible, so that's the size that I used. You'll also need something like a razor blade or a box cutter. You'll need 30 sheets of thick paper, and if you mess up, you'll need more, obviously. I happen to use the full sheet sticker paper, so I just peeled off the back and stuck it on the box. If that is a little bit more expensive, obviously, so if you do happen to go that route, it is probably a better option because if you're going to print this out on regular paper and glue it onto the box, the glue might warp the printout page. So keep that in mind if you aren't going to buy full sheet sticker paper. I think it was about $10 for a pack of 25 sticker sheets, full size 8.5 by 11 sheets. So, if you're not interested in spending that much, definitely just keep in mind that you don't want to use a lot of glue because the paper can get warped. Or at least if you're going to print this out on regular paper, use thicker paper if you can. That way it won't warp as much. So you also need clear packaging tape. I happened to go through, I don't remember how long the roll was, but I went through about 1.5 rolls. It wasn't a full size roll, so I think if you have one really thick, full size roll of tape, you should be fine. And then also, I got some black plastic mesh, and I happened to find this at, just one of those craft type of stores. And that's for the eyes so that you can actually cut out the eyes so the person can see through. Obviously, you don't want them staring into a closed box because they're not going to do very well. And then dark green spray paint. And basically, what that's for is the borders in between uh, where the sticker papers connect. So you don't want to have a brown cardboard color coming through behind in between the uh, the different papers that you're basically sticking onto the box, the cardboard boxes. So, okay, so first what you want to do is you want to take your boxes and fold them out into box shape and tape them. Basically, that's what I did. I taped them all and made them strong and all connected together first, and then I, got into cutting the holes for the head and the arms and all of that later. So then what you and keep in mind like I said, the one if you're going to use two boxes for the feet, like I did, you're going to have to do some extra cutting and extra cardboard reinforcement to reattach the two boxes together. You don't want them tearing apart or separating or anything like that because the legs, that probably is susceptible to bumping into things given that they're down by the legs and all that. So keep that in mind. But so far with the one I built, I haven't had any problems. It's very strong, so you can use two boxes and be fine. Next, what you want to do is make some cutout holes. Now, be careful with this one. You don't want to cut out anything that will be visible. So for the head, you want to cut out you know, a square or round hole for the head. You don't want to cut it all the way. One, for strength of the box, but two, basically this is going to rest on the person's shoulders. So leaving a little bit um, of box on the bottom will make the box stronger and it won't tear because it's going to be resting on somebody's body. Um, the the middle box you want to do the same cutout, where the head will attach. You want to cut some two armholes on the side, and that just depends on how big your the person's arms are that you're going to need. Now at the bottom, you'll want to kind of size up where the middle box attaches to the feet, those two boxes. Basically, you want to cut out as much as you can on that bottom one because you don't want the legs bumping into anything. You want there to be as much free space at the bottom as possible. So when the person's walking wearing this costume, it's not uncomfortable, or they're not bumping their legs into it, or not able to walk. You definitely want to make sure that the person's able to walk. Otherwise, they might fall down or something. So full disclaimer, I'm not responsible if you don't build this correctly and your kid falls down. So keep that in mind. Uh, anyway, so then what you want to do is spray paint the Well, you can probably start with spray painting the corner edges of all the boxes, and if you don't have enough spray paint, you don't really need to spray paint the entire box or all of the boxes, but it's a little bit difficult to tell where all of your printout sheets are going to connect. So I just happened to spray paint on the entire thing and then stuck the papers on, and then I didn't have to worry about where they connected or where you could see through to the box. So that way there's no brown cardboard showing through. Next, what you want to do is attach all of these boxes together. So you want to attach the head to the middle to the feet. And I did this by basically cutting out or using some of the strips of cardboard that I had cut out and basically attaching them to each box and gluing them and then taping over that. And that seems to be really strong. So, I guess that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, so on to the printouts. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So we're looking at the face right here, or part of the face. Each the real creeper face and the creeper face for this printout is 8 by 8 blocks or 8 by 8 squares. This printout is 6 by 5, so we're going to have to attach multiple sheets for this face. So here's the face. Basically, the next slide. What you want to do to all of these printouts? This is made for an 8 by 8.5 by 11 sheet. So what you want to do after you print all those out is cut the edges off. Now you can leave a little bit of border, and this is why the grid is here, so that you don't have to be very precise with your cutting with your scissors. You can leave a little bit of that dark green border looking through. That way, all of the squares will stay square and not be they won't have wavy scissor lines or anything through them. Then what you want to do is take another sheet that you've cut off and attach. There's face 1 and face 2, so you want to attach face 2 where those two dark squares are, just below the face on face 1. After that, basically, you're pretty much done after you attach the extra squares. Right here we have the full face, which is 8 by 8 blocks. You'll see that there's that partial face. We have the two strips on the top, the strip extra on the right and the left, and then the face 2, that one strip from the bottom there. So that will give you the full creeper face. Once you get that done, everything will be pretty easy. Because basically you don't have to really worry about it. You can just print out a bunch of these and stick them, wherever you want connected to each other, because they're all kind of random, and the squares will just fit together wherever you want. It doesn't really matter; they're all the same size. So basically, once you stick the face on, I would start at the face on the box, like you see here with the arrow, and then go out from there. Go to the right side of the head, put some, connect the squares and glue them on there, or stick them on if you're using the sticky paper, and then do the top of the head and do that as well, and then do the rest of the middle part, the middle cardboard box, and then do the feet as well. Now keep in mind, look at how I've done the bottom. The 5-inch box didn't happen to be very well sized, so it's 3.5 blocks or 3.5 squares on the printout. So I ended up cutting that in half, but it looks like it actually kind of looks like it's supposed to be that way, so it went okay. Now keep in mind, in this picture, I forgot about one thing. The feet have some darker squares down at the bottom, so I've added those later, but they just don't happen to be in this picture that I took. Um, so finally, we're getting close to finished here. We want to make a cutout for the eyes. Now I cut out uh, most of the dark area where the creeper's mouth is. The 2 squares at the top there, and then the 4 squares just underneath that. Now that seems to be enough. If you happen to have somebody where the head, their head happens to be higher up inside this cardboard box, you can also cut out the 2 black squares above that, and you should be fine. And if you really need to, you could cut out the black eyes too. And basically what we're going to do next is take the black plastic mesh, and you can see kind of in the close up here how it looks. It looks pretty cool. You can't really it still does look pretty black, but you can still see through it. So um, you know, looks pretty cool, and it doesn't look like an empty hole in the box. So basically what you want to do once you get the size cut out for your eye holes, you just take a piece of this black mesh and glue it on from the inside. And there you're pretty much done. And so that's pretty much it. It's complete. And uh, leave some comments in the video here if you have any questions. I'll try to help you out as much as possible. Um, yeah, so enjoy. I hope you have a good Halloween or whatever you're using this costume for, and we'll talk to you guys later. By the way, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I put out Minecraft videos all the time. So have a good one.